it'll take your record to the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so yeah, that's one of the I think one of the special things about having that, even that having that collaborative process with the producer that you've been you in the studio as they making the beat. Uh, do you have any song or any moment that you can think of where like you was in the studio, they was making the beat, they was adding this or taking this away, and it's a specific song that you can think of what that experience was like or what that sort of studio session was like?
Um, a song with Jay-Z, it's called "Throw Up," and literally like I went to the studio and I was working with a manager at the time, and he was like, "Man, I need you to just do a song tonight. I don't care what it is, just got to smack."
Okay.
And I left work at like 1 in the morning. I got to the studio like 2, and we stayed up in the studio till like 6 a.m., bro. And
Okay.
like I watched him make the beat, do this and the third, put everything in it, and like while we went in there, we just kept, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying, we working out in the gym. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and that shit just clapped so hard in the morning, like I couldn't stop listening to it.
Okay.
I'm like, damn, like it's just like so intricate. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It was a more earthy feel, like a more homegrown feel that like is like an achievement. Like, damn, I really did that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm used to just like getting beats and like just going in the studio and directing how I want to do stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like when I actually work with somebody,
Yeah.
it's a crazy feeling, bro. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that collaborative process, I think that that's one of the most important aspects of music is that collaborative process.
Hmm.
Do you got anything, whether it's you got a project or what's like some of the next things that you got coming up, or what's some of the next things that, even if you don't got nothing that's definitive with the date, what's some of the next tentative things that you sort of see yourself doing in the next 12 months or so?
I'm working on a project currently right now. I don't have a name for it yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
But yeah, I really want to put out a nice project, man. That's my next goal. I've been shooting a lot of videos, working
Okay.
with a lot of different artists. So I'm trying to put it together, you know?
Okay. You feel like can you feel yourself sort of getting into a rhythm again and getting into a
Yeah, I feel
place
it.
where?
I'm definitely in a headspace now to where like I know this is gonna be some of the greatest music I ever created.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's just
Yeah.
how I feel about it. That's how passionate I am about it. But it's just I don't know. Something just spoke to me, and I just been at it. You
Yes.
know.
Okay. Do you have a timetable? I know I said it don't got to be
I
when
want
you.
it to be December. I want to
Okay.
drop a tape in December.
Okay. December.
Hmm.
Uh, Man, I've been one of the other things I've been talking to different people about has sort of been their experience with performances, and I don't know how many performances you've done in the city, or how many, not even in the city, but I don't know how many performances you've done as an artist. But talk to me about some of your experiences with performing, some of whether the pros and the cons that came with it, and is it something that you enjoy doing? Is it something that you look forward to doing in the future? Just sort of talk to me about the performance aspect of you as an artist.
And I'm gonna be real because like a lot of people won't be real about it, but I think I need to grow in
Okay.
performing, and I really want to grow. You know what I'm saying? I worked with a lot of different people that performed before me or before my set, and I'm
Hmm.
like, damn, like and no shade, but the song wasn't smacking like that.
But he did something
But
up
they
there,
performance,
right?
the way they
Yeah,
drew a
yeah,
crowd, it was
pulling
like,
you in.
damn, that's crazy as
Yeah,
hell. Like
yeah,
they was on it, like
right.
it just like you could tell when somebody can work a crowd.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to work on more. I performed a lot throughout the city, outside of the city, but I definitely want to grow. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? I definitely understand that this ain't no, you know what I'm saying, no rodeo. Like
Yeah,
when you go to perform, like it's got to be on. It's got to be
yeah,
on pack. You know?
yeah, yeah. That's one of the things for me that I was really trying to focus on this year, and even next year is you have before I was doing too much in the studio, like I was like he was talking about, I was writing a lot, so I really was a writing artist,
Hmm.
and then I had this separation or this growth in my experience probably around, I would say, like 2014, 2015, where I was recording in the studio a lot and I was putting music out a lot and I was a recording artist.
Hmm.
And in this past year, as I've been trying to get into performing and getting into putting events together and things like that, I've seen, okay, I can see myself becoming a performing artist. You
Hmm.
really need to be able to have all of these sort of different check boxes that you check.
Yeah, Infinity Stones. You got
Yeah,
to have them
one
for
hundred
sure.
percent. Especially since with streaming, it really changes. You can't just put out a hard copy and sell CDs and try to get your recoup back on whatever you might have put into the studio.
Yeah.
And you get pennies for a listen. It becomes really important to be able to put people in seats, to be able
Yeah.
to sell tickets and have an event where you can sell some merch at.
Hmm.
And I think that that's one of the things that is a really difficult thing to try to get a hold of, in the mediums of how music come out have changed so much, and me and you close to the same age
Hmm.
where, I remember when SoundCloud was maybe like the main streaming service. You know,
Nah,
people were
for
still
real.
buying CDs, you
Yeah.
know, and you just push it on SoundCloud to Apple Music becoming a thing and Spotify becoming a thing. And to the point now where like, unless you the biggest artist, you're not even making no hard copy version of anything that you're doing.
Nah,
You
for
know,
real.
you gotta, and you gotta have some type of physical thing, physical merch that you can sell, and then you gotta have like performances that you can
Hmm.
do so that you can sell tickets. Talk to me about some of uh the business aspects of, as an artist. Like, what's some of the things that difficulties you've ran into as a artist and trying to turn art into business and trying to turn a song into dollars, and what's some of the things that you feel like that, whether it's something that you've learned from and adjusted to, or some of the things that you still trying to learn and get acclimated to.
I would say Trill Love, the song I came out with. I dropped the video shortly after I had got out of jail, and I really learned like that the aspect of the game. Like I recorded that myself, which is a $0 fee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I really turned it into a music video, and then it popped up with like 20,000 views, and I'm like, damn, like if I could do that with just on some homegrown shit. Imagine if I had a plan and certain shit set into place to where like
Yeah.
I made, and I eventually did. Like I tried to market the song or whatever. I made a couple $1,000s, but it's like damn, like I made like 2-3 bands off of this song, and I
Yeah.
just did this shit at the crib.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so, like imagine like how these bigger artists are doing this shit, bro.
Yeah.
They making this shit happen, bro. They're turning the revenue on that shit. Like now, people know the song so much to where like if I perform this song, people will know this song when I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've had those performances too, where like I ain't gonna lie, I've been high as hell in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I done forgot the words, and we up there doing our thing, and the crowd going
Right.
crazy because they know the
They
song.
know
You
the
know,
song, and that's
it's
the special
enchanting.
thing.